Indeed, and then when you deal with Donald Trump, you get the odd curveball, and we saw that over the last few days with the language around those that served in Afghanistan, and subsequently he's backed away from it, probably as close to an apology as you'd get from him, where he described the UK troops as brave warriors, but really that was a huge stumble and really faced a lot of condemnation. Keir Starmer and other leaders, our Prime Minister, calling it completely unacceptable.
Yeah, look, it was just a terrible comment, Kieran, a really big misstep. This is probably really the worst week in the UK relationship with the US in the last year. Of course, it's worth pointing out that Trump didn't apologise. He put up a sort of a conciliatory message on social media, saying that the UK troops did, a great job and they were very brave. But Keir Starmer demanded an apology. He didn't get one. This was very much rubbing salt in the wounds of America's European allies who served with Americans in Afghanistan. I mean, the whole world was on America's side after 9/11. For example, Denmark owns Greenland. This was the center of the recent controversy last week in Davos and leading up to last week. But Denmark, in terms of sort of the per capita death rate in Afghanistan, had one of the highest death rates out of all the allied partners fighting in Afghanistan. So this was a very unwise comment from Donald Trump, not very diplomatic, and it just came at a particularly bad time.
Yes, and finally, before you go, I do need to ask you about this. This is more a domestic issue as opposed to the foreign policy, but what's going on in Minneapolis is again, I think it's shocked many internationally, but certainly many Americans too. What's the latest there? How's it being received, the ICE crackdown?
Well, it's been received pretty much as you would expect, Kieran. There's been, I think, an outcry all across America because people can see the footage with their own eyes. They can see what happened, and what they see happening does not align with what some of the top administrations, top officials in the Trump administration have actually said. So I think there's been sort of a humane reaction. People are concerned. And obviously, there are big rifts now between local law enforcement in Minneapolis. There's about 3,000 federal agents in Minneapolis, but there's only about 600 police. But I think people are just reacting with concern about what's going on, and in particular, the divergence between what the Trump administration is saying and what they can see with their own eyes, Kieran.
Indeed, yep. It's a time of uncertainty on a few different fronts. Washington correspondent at The Australian, Joe Kelly, joining us live from Washington. Thanks for joining us this Australia Day.